And we're back. I'm ranked. Episode 7, I want to say.
Yeah, I think 7. Could be
Okay,
technically 8. 7.
Again, sorry for the delay, guys. I said we were not going to take that long for the next one. Let's be fair. 2 months is not really that long. So,
For us, yeah.
okay. But thanking you for the long wait. We have a special episode today. We have a special guest, right? Somebody that Mike got for us. So, who got Mike? Do we got a Chance Ellison? Do we got somebody like that? A champion from the Smart?
No. We have Brooklyn.
The city?
No, the sandwich guy.
Ah, that guy. Here he is.
That guy, yeah.
Do you have like a show where you ask people like Jeopardy questions?
I think so. Something along those lines. I found more so that I write more questions in the style of like Jeopardy, like it's like some alliteration, and then it's just like it's some like super obvious hint. It's like this quaint Canadian gives us our answers on Jeopardy. Yeah, it's yikes.
Good stuff. So we have the sandwich guy. I assume we're doing top sandwiches, right?
No.
Nah.
Why are
we can't give them that quality content right off the gate. You got to lead into that, you know.
What are we doing then? Mike. Oh,
I think it has something to do with DC.
DC games.
There's like Injustice and Injustice 2. We're talking about good like good DC games. You think?
Okay. If we are doing DC games, then we gotta do it the Emmerich way. We're not gonna do the top games, the best games. We're not gonna do the worst games. Let's just do the top meh DC games. I think that's good content.
I think it is.
I think I can do about 8. Mike, what do you got?
I have 10. I actually beat you finally.
This is the first time you have more than me.
Listen,
you're learning.
I don't know how Mike got 10 is amazing. I struggled to get to 7.
It's okay, man. It's his first show. Yeah, it's the first time.
Yeah.
The first time we did this, I had 10. Mike had like 4. So, understandable. We're gonna start with Mike, right, since Mr. DVD already here has 10 freaking games. So, starting with Mike's number 10.
Number 10.
His number 10 game from DC.
Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
What's the thing? Remember? What's the thing? It's the yes ma'am, yes sir. Samesies. That's the thing. Samesies.
Also, samesies for me too. It's let's say it's the least meh of the meh. We all have it. Okay, let's jump right into Mike's number 9.
Number 9, I have Batman Forever.
Oh,
oof!
Very, very shitty game. Side-scrolling meh.
I
This
said
is meh,
not
meh.
shitty.
This
not
is
shitty.
Meh of meh.
Okay. Why is it so meh?
Well, let's just say I don't remember much about this game except that it would piss me off every time I played it. I watched the movie. I enjoyed the movie as a little kid. I played the game. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? So I went to go watch the movie again because fuck the game. It's a meh.
Fair. I'm going to jump now to my number 8 since you already did 2. And for 8, I got Nintendo NES, Batman's Return of the Joker.
Oh, wow.
This game is the sequel to the Batman game that they made for the movie, which was awesome. For some reason, they decided to make the Batman sprite bigger, and they gave him a lot of gimmicks. And the Joker returned, which made no sense because he died at the end of the last game. I killed him. I remember. This game was it's something they just released in between the movies. It was Batman, then Batman Returns, and then they just shoehorn in Batman Return of the Joker. I mean, it's the least mad thing on my list. I mean, it's not really bad, but it's not good. It's just like, okay, I'll wait for the next one. But that's my number 8. So, Mike, you also have 8.
Yes.
Let me check here. Give me a second. Mike's number 8.
Injustice: Gods Among Us.
Wow. Wow. didn't think I was gonna see one of these games on this list.
You know, it's all right. The story's kind of and I'm never really into fighting games that much, so this, it's all right. I play it. It's enjoyable, I guess. You get to play as Batman. So
it's the best fighting game. It's the best game to feature Martian Manhunter. How many games can you say feature Martian Manhunter?
Off the top of my head, I don't think any.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I love this game. I mean, this is everything that Mortal Kombat versus DC is not.
Yes, I'll give it that.
They said like, okay, obviously we cannot be killing the characters, so Mortal Kombat is not gonna really work. But if we don't do the blood thing, we just keep the fighting mechanics and we pump up the superhero powers where they can do insane shit to each other.
The super moves, I believe they were called. Yeah.
The super moves. And I really like this game. I actually even bought the sequel, which I have played very little of. But this game, I love the beginning to end, man. This is not really, man. I don't know what are you thinking.
The story is really good because you think like NetherRealm in particular, they just came off Mortal Kombat 9, and they used, I believe, the same engine for Mortal Kombat 9 to make this game. And it's really like the same thing. I bought this game. I didn't buy Injustice 2. But yeah, this for somebody who isn't really into traditional fighters, this is it's really good. And the DLC was really good too, because I think it was Russian Manhunter, General Zod. Who else did you have? Scorpion, I believe, was the Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah.
Scorpion. Well, Mike already made a shit show out of this, so
just wait.
Let's give Brooklyn a shot. Since we're at number 7, and Brooklyn hasn't said anything yet, let's give his number 7, which is
Batman Arkham Knight.
Samesies.
Wow.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so my number 7 is Scribblenauts Unmasked. Have you guys played Scribblenauts?
I haven't, but I've watched a lot of gameplay footage of it, and it seems like it's it seems like a pretty standard draw game or whatever.
Scribblenauts, the original game, was brilliant in its simplicity. You play as Maxwell, the kid with the orange cap, and you have to puzzle your way out of a level. And the gimmick of the game, in the 3DS especially, the Wii U version is shit, but I like this one. The original game, this one, Scribblenauts, you have to write things like if the exit is a little high, you can write ladder, and a ladder appears because it has a magic notebook that makes things real. You can put hook and rope, and then you mix them and you throw the hook and rope and you get on top. It's brilliant. Then they made a sequel that was called Scribblenauts Unlimited, which is even better because they had some banned words in the original one. They tried to expand the vocabulary so it was more natural, because sometimes you wrote things that were synonyms and they didn't appear. But then they went with the licensing route and they made this thing called Scribblenauts Unmasked, when you basically do the same thing but around DC heroes, and it's awful. I mean, there is this one mission where they tell you like take Victor's ass to the roof. I was like, okay.
All right.
So how do I take Victor's ass to the roof? It's a violent murderer. And they're like, well, you do what you want. I was like, okay, I'm gonna put a muzzle. They gave me the muzzle. I put the muzzle on him. I put the rope and I tie him like a dog and pull him through. And when we get to the roof, he escapes and he kills the guard with a sword. And then I have to fight him. That's not what this game was supposed to be. Very, very because I don't think I can say it's bad. Still Scribblenauts. It's just okay. So Mike's number 7. Mike's number 7 is Oops.
Injustice
Error.
2.
God damn it.
I think it's better than the first one, but still better gameplay. But I'm not into fighters, so again, it's just man of me. Has a better story.
But this one has the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, though.
Exactly.
Yeah. It has Sub-Zero, it has Raiden, like the better Mortal Kombat characters. I like the story isn't that great, but you also get Brainiac and Darkseid and Gorilla Grodd, and you get Atrocitus. They expanded the DC lore so much with this with this game. I'm baffled.
You can use all the Ninja Turtles at the same time.
You can. That's their it's their super move.
That is so cool. That I don't get it, Mike. Honestly, I think you got the wrong list. Maybe I didn't explain what it was supposed to be. Be fair, we don't really prep, so
just
maybe
wait.
maybe that's what happened.
Wait.
But also, I would have flipped him. I think this is a little more meh than the first one. The first one got the originality factor, so I don't know. That's just me. It's your list, so it's your grave. Number 6 for Brooklyn. I couldn't even get a decent poster for this thing
because nobody remembers this game. Aquaman Battle for Atlantis. I believe this was a GameCube exclusive, but they could have been also released on PlayStation and Xbox. But
let me see if I find that poster for the game.
Aquaman Battle for Atlantis. It was essentially the spiritual successor of like Superman 64. Flew around, did stuff. There was walls where there wasn't supposed to be walls. You fought things. It was essentially just like a button masher at times. And I forgot. I completely forgot about this game because how many Aquaman games are there? And it's just it's that era of like GameCube and Xbox and PS2. I guess that's it. It uses a version of Aquaman that's actually got retconned out of DC lore. But for early GameCube, it's fine. Not awful, but it's fine.
I have never heard of this game. I had a GameCube. When I saw the cover, I was like, "Oh yeah." I think I saw that at the video store, and I never ever considered renting it.
Good job.
Have you played this, Mike?
No, I have not. I haven't even heard of it.
Well, let's just forget about it. It existed like I think we were supposed to. So the next one for me, I think it's still gonna be same as for later because it's the same. Mortal Kombat DC Universe.
Samesies.
Yeah. So we move on to Mike's number 6.
Here we go.
Here we go. Mike's number 6 is
Batman Arkham City. I enjoy it, but do I love it? No. Like the stories, all right. I like the open world to it, but they didn't go completely open world like another game that's on this list. The story, I think there's better stories.
Okay, I'm not really a modern gamer. I basically played Super Mario until I couldn't afford a Switch, so I played up to the Wii U, and I like Batman games were like the 90s. So I actually have never played the Arkham games. I hear they're great.
Some would even say this is the best of those games.
Well, to be fair, is his list meh?
It is, yeah.
I mean, he's Jack. No, Jack, this is not JLS. He saves is another one, right?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
there's another one.
Yikes. Yeah, but this one is like it has so many collectibles, and like I agree with Mike where the story might not be that great. I think Arkham Asylum has the best story, but like, so what if the story is linear? The worlds are great. The combat was insane, and like the upgrades and the perks. Yeah, it was just so.
I'll give it. The combat is good, but
Yeah.
I think all three combats. I have nothing against combat at all. The combat's great. That's what they use for fucking Spider-Man, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Like the combat's there.
What are perks?
So it would be like you would get like batarangs, or you would get like ice bombs or something, and then you can upgrade them over time. Yeah. Or you could get like new combo moves or something.
Sounds complicated. I hate it. So let's go back to Brooklyn, number 5.
Everybody's favorite MMORPG, DC Universe Online.
Damn.
I remember seeing the trailer for this and being quite excited. It was based around, if I remember correctly, I think the story was based around Lex Luthor and how it was sort of like a precursor to what Injustice would eventually be. Lex Luthor coming back to save the world. You had these different like classes or whatever. You could be like a version, I think, of like Joker or Superman, or you could be an Amazonian, or you could be like a Lantern or something. And it's just didn't really do that well. It was just kind of fine. People played it. It didn't necessarily get awful reviews, but it didn't get great ones. I think the way that I would describe this game is wasted potential, considering how much MMORPGs have risen in the past 2 decades.
I've never heard of this, so that's interesting. That is an interesting concept for it.
I actually, I think you lost me with MMO. You lost me more with RPG. You had me at DC, and then you lost me again on the line. This is like the definition of something that is not my cup of tea. So, hold on. My number 6 is a game I got excited about because I watched the movie and I really loved the movie. Watchmen, The End is Night. Anybody play this?
No. Again, didn't even know it existed.
I honestly I looked up things before and I saw it then, but yeah, never heard of it before.
You basically, it's like kind of a prequel. Like you get to play as Night Owl and Rorschach when they were teaming up to fight crime, before the events of the movie. And it sounds awesome, but it's not. The gameplay is boring. The mechanics of fighting is boring. The story is episodic. Actually, I bought it when it was a complete thing, but you could buy it like episode by episode, which I hate. I don't know who invented that, but that thing, like, you pay $15 and you get a piece of a game, and then you pay $15 and get a piece of a game, and when you finish, you pay like $100 and you have a short, lame ass game. Hate it. Then I rewatched the movie. I like the movie again. So, the movie, not meh. The game, pretty meh.
I mean, based on the poster, though, this seems like it's pretty good value. You get a copy of the game and a copy of the Blu-ray movie.
Yeah, but this thing came out like a year and a half, almost 2 years after the original episode started dropping online.
Oh wow!
I already had bought like 6 episodes of this. I get because I mean I was in, so I had to go all the way in, right?
Yeah.
So I spent like $100, and then I paid like $50 for the movie. Actually, no, I think I spent another $100 on the movie because I bought the regular one, the director's cut, and then the killer cut. So I already was like 200 and something into the hole with this shit, and then they released like, you know what, $40. You get the whole thing and the movie.
It's awful. They do that with games so often. It's like $90 for the game, and then $30 for like 2 more DLC packs, and then it's like a year later. Yeah, you can get everything for like $80.
Yeah. Okay, so we're moving with Mike's number 5, which is Batman Returns.
Batman Returns.
Super
Good
Nintendo.
side-scrolling game. You know, it's not amazing. It's just you want to have a good fucking time. You go in there, you fuck people up. Batman. What else can you fucking love about it? You fucking fuck people up as Batman. The story's, the side-scrolling action is okay, but they've done it better. But it's still a fun overall game.
Have you played this, Brooklyn?
I haven't, but I've seen gameplay footage of it. I believe this is one of the more popular speedrun games of Batman's. Yeah, but you know, it seems like a pretty straightforward platformer. You know,
everything around this era in Super Nintendo was Streets of Rage from Sega Genesis, or Final Fight if you.
Yeah, Final Fight. Yeah, the Final Fight was for Nintendo.
Streets of Rage was better, but let's say Final Fight. These things were designed to eat quarters.
Mm-hmm.
You go to an arcade and you waste all your allowance on Batman Returns, just so you can say you finish the game. I don't prefer this. I mean, if I prefer my side scrolling with turtles of the ninja variety.
There's some bad ones. There's some bad TMNT platformers.
Yeah, true. But in the 90s, they were good. I don't know. I have played this game. I actually like the part where you beat the hell out of Catwoman. It's kind of weird because, it always makes you feel bad because she still looks like Catwoman. And you're like, they're punching and kicking her all the way. It's like, this is just rough. And then after you beat her, she still throws the other girl tied to the Christmas tree out the window. It's a very sexist thing. Well, at least Mike thinks it's mad. Okay, so number 4 on Brooklyn's list. I guess we're finally gonna be talking about this.
We're finally talking about it. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. This was really in that batch of Mortal Kombat 3D games when they did for like again for GameCube, Xbox stuff, where they tried to do like almost like Soul Calibur Tekken, where they had like the circle or whatever, and you could rotate around that way. And this, I think, is often considered like of Mortal Kombat and what would eventually become Injustice, the worst of the worst era of these games. They tried to do essentially what they did with Amalgam Comics and combine 2 worlds together. And then they had like the whole heroic brutality thing. Whereas, like, if you played as a Mortal Kombat character, yeah, you could do fatalities. But if you're a superhero, no, they can't have blood or rip anybody in half. They're just gonna knock you out for hours, I guess.
Mike, I think you had this higher than me. You had it 6? No, I had it 6.
I had that 10.
Okay, so I'm going. Yeah. The heroic brutality thing is savage. First of all, the story is trash. It makes no sense. The reason this game exists is because Street Fighters versus X-Men exists. X-Men versus Street Fighter. Or Captain.
Marvel versus Captain.
Marvel versus Captain.
Actually, there's also, I think, Street Fighter versus X-Men. But
I think there is might have been like an arcade exclusive, I think, up here.
The thing is, that exists, that made money. So they were like, what can we do with DC? We have Mortal Kombat. Let's try that. The idea in itself is insane because the worlds do not fit at all.
Yeah.
And then they come up with that system, the fallen switching system, which is just, I mean, I don't know. I never hated it, the game, but I always got bored playing it. And the lamest thing is the heroic brutalities. Because if you play as Mortal Kombat characters, you can actually, like Brooklyn said, do fatalities to other Mortal Kombat characters. If you beat Superman, you cannot rip his head off. You cannot burn him to a skeleton. No. You cannot do that to DC. DC has to be protected. And the heroic brutality, in its definition, is ridiculous. Superman grabs Scorpion and beats the hell out of the poor ninja. Like, into a pulp. Like, anybody taking that beating, even if it was freaking Darkseid, would be like, ouch. So imagine what happens to, like, a human. And then he's like, nope, it's heroic brutality. Bah.
Also, pour one out, because I'm pretty sure this is the last time we ever hear Shazam be referred to as Captain Marvel in a game or, like, in anything.
Good point. Mike?
I played it once. Yeah, that was it. I played it once and went, no, I'm good. So I don't remember pretty much anything about it because I just,
Okay. My number 4 is a game that was sold to me as the return of the Batman animated series with a brand new villain and a continuing story that's going to bring all the fans back. It was called Batman Rise of Sin Tzu.
I remember this cover.
Oh, man.
This game sucks. And not in a trash crap, unplayable kind of sucks, which would make it a bad game. It sucks in the way that Sin Tzu is just not a good character. It's something they created for this, and it's a boring villain with boring fighting skills, plays in a boring story in a boring Batman game. I bought this game. I played this game. I finished this game. I don't remember this game.
That sucks. I've never even played it, but like that sucks because based on the cover alone, this looks like if Batman crossed over with Samurai Jack and they just made a game for the GameCube.
The thing is that they were expecting Sin Tzu to be so big that they already had planned like comic books and to bring him into another TV shows. Have you ever heard of Sin Tzu? I rest my case. Mike's number 4.
Okay, before you do it, clearly I don't listen to rules. My 1 through 4 should have been my 10 through 7. And on top of that, I just wanted to talk about these 4 fucking games. So, fuck it. Just put it up there. Let's go. Number 4.
This is not the first time this has happened. Okay. Is number 4 Arkham Asylum?
Batman Arkham Asylum.
Oh.
I enjoy the hell out of this game. The story is so fucking much fun. Joker is fucking amazing in this one, especially when you have to defeat Big Boy Joker. That's always a fun game. This was the first time that I played an actual Batman that wasn't side scroller, and fucking love the story. I love the hell out of it. It's a great fucking game.
It is a pretty damn good game.
Mike, this is not what we're doing.
I know. But fuck it, no rules.
But listen, we have to talk about great games at some point. But this game in particular, I got my love of Scarecrow through this because there's like there's a specific part where like Scarecrow is like the big baddie, and then you have to do some like platforming in his boss battle, and I really like that. I believe there's also a part where they go where like he makes Batman Bruce Wayne go through the hallway again where his parents get murdered.
Yeah.
I believe there is also a Killer Croc jump scare, which is actually was actually pretty scary. This is definitely like the most like H.P. Lovecraft, I guess, Victorian. Like it was kind of like out there, kind of weird. But my favorite thing about this is that after you beat the game, I remember going onto YouTube and being like, "Hey, there's a secret wall that you can blow up by so and so." I think it was like the mayor's office or something, or by Arkham's office or something. And then you blow it up, and then it's essentially just a big teaser for Arkham City, because essentially lays everything out there. I believe Hugo Strange gets teased as the next big baddie. But yeah, this is a really good game.
I don't play modern games. I have heard good things. I think this is the first of the series, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the name makes sense to me, Arkham Asylum. Then I started seeing other things like Arkham Knight, Arkham City, Arkham Origins. Arkham is a building. It's the madhouse, right? Batman's madhouse is Arkham.
Yeah.
Arkham City. Okay. I obviously don't get it. Even
Did you guys?
I'm a guy. But
Did you guys ever hear about? There was rumors that that the same company was going to do essentially the same thing with Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what is that going to be that called? Like Kryptonite? I don't know. Number 3 for Mr. Vail. Let's see.
it's not the third Lego Batman, not the second Lego Batman, but the first Lego Batman. The second one is great, and the third one is really good. I haven't played Lego DC Supervillains, but this one, it doesn't hold a candle to the rest of them. It's just fine, you know. They would eventually sort of like go for the same vibe in Lego Batman 3 with an Adam West sort of side mission. But you know, it's Batman and Robin. You go through things. It's that there. I think this is like one of the latter in terms of like that first crop of Lego games, like Lego Star Wars, Lego Harry Potter. I think Lord of the Rings was also in that batch, and then they would transform into like a more open world setting with Lego Batman 2, which I believe was the first game I ever 100%ed, and there are a fuck ton of collectibles.
All the Lego games are about the same. I'm the Lego guy too, by the way. So Lego Batman, it should be right up my alley.
Yeah.
But they're basically all the same. There's some stuff there. You pick up some golden studs. You break something, use the parts to build something else so you can keep going. Rinse, repeat endlessly. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Lego Batman, they all blend together because they're all the same game. It's just different skins. If you're going to go with a Lego game, I would recommend you actually go with Lego Dimensions. It also has Batman in it. It's the same gameplay, again, but you get to buy little minifigures. Yeah, and then you put them in a thing, and then the thing scans it, and you get to play, but you get the toy too. So, have you played this, Mike?
I have not played this one, no.
That's a great thing about Lego games is that they're like they don't hide that. They're the exact same game for every game, no matter what franchise, but they're still just really good.
Fair. So, my number 3, PlayStation era game, Gotham City Racers.
Please tell me this is a Batman go-kart game.
I've never heard of this game.
It's a Batman racing game, yes. You can use different vehicles, but let's be honest, everybody just wants to play as the Batmobile. There are different Batmobiles in it. I've actually played it recently because a friend of mine has an emulation for this, and he just sent me the file. It's not as good as I remembered it. It's pretty meh. I mean, you're supposed to feel like you're going very, very fast. Doesn't feel that way. And the graphics, my God, the graphics. I mean, I remember that PlayStation 1 was pretty rough, but yikes. Uh, kind of crushed my teenage memories of this game. I don't think I ever want to play it again. If you haven't, don't. It's not worth it. You can actually just go to YouTube, see some of the races from this game.
Probably gives you all you need.
You'll get the gist already in like 2 minutes. Mike's number 3. Oh, you said you haven't played it, right?
Yeah, I have not played this one.
Okay. Batman number 3. Yeah, Batman number 3. Mike's all Batman games. Boom. Wait, that's not it.
Batman the Telltale series. Now remember this.
Okay, I see what you. Okay, I see what you mean now.
Yeah, the Telltale games have become some of my favorite series, with the exception of a very few of them. This one is really fun. It's like the Watchmen game episodic thing, where before you get the full version, you would have to buy the separate episodes, or you can buy a season pass that comes with all of them, and they release them every couple months. There's a fun story to it. Not my favorite Batman story, but still a very fun story, and you get to be fucking Batman and Bruce Wayne. So you get to use his detective skills and his ass-kicking skills. It's all good times. And I love the style of Telltale. Like, the images, the way they create the characters, always fun time.
Yeah, I think Wolves Among Us is also considered DC games, or it might be like a side project.
No, it's
but
definitely considered a DC game.
Yeah, but I think it came out first, and but yeah, I never played these games, but I've heard good things. They never really heard a bad thing about it.
This kind of games I like because they're simple.
Yeah.
For my old school mind and mentality, it really works. It's basically watching a movie where you get to shoot shit. Like, the first one I actually played was the Telltale Walking Dead game, which is great.
Yeah.
The 5 episodes were great. I never played season 2 or 3. I don't even know how many seasons they made. I played season 1, and it was really, really a good game.
I think they got up to season 4.
What?
They went pretty fucking far. They got up to like season 4, I think, of those games, that series. They went pretty fucking far.
When I saw this game was coming out, I was like, yes, that's what I want. I want a Batman game that plays like that because it's gonna be fun. So I bought it on Amazon. I bought the disc, and then I put it in, and it was pretty good. I played it. Chapter 1 ends, and then I was like, chapter 2, and they said like you have to wait. I was like, wait for what? And they're like, yeah, the disc has episode 1, and you already paid for the whole thing.
Yeah,
but you have to wait to release them slowly. I was like, I thought I was getting the whole thing on the disc. I never downloaded chapter 2. Happens. But I might, because now I think I understand what Mike did. You did the list upside down, didn't you?
Yes. I did the list upside down.
So this is gonna just keep worse for you, getting worse, right? I'm putting this in the description. Mike fucked up. Number two for Vail
is the DS classic Justice League Heroes, or that's what I play. I played it out of the DS, but yeah, Justice League Heroes. The DS in particular, I remember loving it as a child. You got to play as Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, Flash, and I think also Green Lantern. You were able to interswap between them. But essentially, it's just a top-down game, which doesn't really work considering Wonder Woman and Superman can fly in the game. So whenever you most normal games, to fly, you just double tap A, and then it's just like, all right, they move like 3 inches off the ground, so it doesn't really help you at all. And then it's like, all right, cool, you need to destroy these towers, cool, rescue these people, all right, destroy more towers, cool, get more people, all right, that's the end of it. All right, we're gonna do a new mission. We're gonna do this time. Got to destroy more towers. Beat up more enemies. It's
Portable versions of games are historically bad.
awful.
I didn't know it was a DS game. I just changed it. That makes more sense because my sister played the PlayStation version and it was still pretty meh. I didn't play. Mike, I don't know, just
it rented quite a bit at the video store I worked at, but I never played it. I just kept looking at the cover all the time.
Oh yeah, like the cover. The cover is great, and based on the cover alone, you'll think this game would be awesome. But nope,
clearly not.
My number 2 is the epitome of modern gaming. My number 2 game is Superman in the Atari.
oh wow.
Have you guys ever played the Atari games?
Oh, the Atari games
no.
I have. This
Atari
one,
never.
Do you remember that software called Logo Writer, like with blocky pixels that were like this big? It's like that. But Superman is like a blue dot with a red dot in the back. You move the dot around, rescue people who are like other dots. You beat another dot, and there's pew pew bang pew sounds in it. I played the hell out of this because I was 5 years old and I thought dots, thinking it was amazing. Last time I played it, I was 10 years old. I already had an NES, and I was like, "What the hell was I thinking?" So, Superman in the Atari 2600. Don't look for it. So, I'm going to Mike. Mike, you're number 2.
It was the same Z's from earlier.
And it just like keeps going with you, right? You
Yes.
just seem to hate Arkham for some reason.
Batman Arkham Knight.
Mike hates this because it makes no sense title-wise.
True. I like the fact that it was more open world. I love that you got the Batmobile finally. You get to fucking fly around in the Batmobile, fucking drive the streets, and that it didn't involve finally, like, I love the Joker, but it finally did not center around the Joker. You got Scarecrow and you got Riddler, the two main, other than the Arkham Knight, you got Riddler, who you are solving different shit throughout the city on Riddler, which is funny as hell. You got a couple cool underground sequences of like underneath like parking garages and stuff like that Riddler is set up for you. Scarecrow's just fucking with you all the time, and as Brooklyn fucking collectibles all over the goddamn place. Like, if you want trophy games, these are definitely the perfect games to get your trophies because there's so much shit you can get in these games. It's fun. It's Batman. Fucking is Batman, man. If you love the Spider-Man game, you've never played these games. It's the original fucking fighting style of this. I love these fighting games like this. It's so much fun.
Brooklyn,
can we agree that the Arkham Knight reveal though is pretty dog shit?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They had so much potential, and it was just like, I mean, like, spoiler alert for a game I think that's like 5 years old. Spoiler alert: Arkham Knight is Jason Todd.
Yep.
Yeah, and the crowd goes mild. I wasn't a massive fan of the Batmobile stuff. I think there was I know there's a lot of complaints that the Batmobile was almost used too much. That there were levels that where you had to use it, and yeah, it's meh, like, in terms of like, it's a good meh, but you're coming off of Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, two, I think, easily superior games. And yeah, this one is. I agree with Mike in terms of how it's more open. I do like that it focuses on Scarecrow. That last level too, where you take over the mind of Joker, was I will give credit where that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it was just another kind of copy paste from maybe even Arkham Origins.
I have two things to say here. Of my knowledge of the Arkham series, I think the public consensus is that Arkham Origins is the worst one.
Yeah, but it was also made by a separate company.
Yeah.
It was oh my god, something Montreal. Ubisoft Montreal, I think it was. But yeah.
So why don't you have that one in your list, Mike?
Because I've never played that one.
The second thing is that when I saw the reveal of this game, I was like, damn, that looks very, very cool for a game I'm never going to play. Especially that Batmobile. Looks pretty awesome. So, instead of getting the game, I got the toy.
Of course you did.
No, of course. Nice.
Of course.
This is a pretty sweet Batmobile. Has the lights and sounds. It opens like a spider. Turns around the free wheels. It has a cannon. The cannon has sounds and lights. And it booms. Wow. And it came with a little tiny Batman. This is a great Batmobile. That's all I gotta say about the video game. So, number one. Let's start with, you know what? Since he already told us he fucked it up.
Yeah, let's go to Mike first.
I'm pretty sure this is not gonna be a mad game.
No, not at all.
No.
It was actually mentioned earlier, and it's
Number
my
one.
second favorite
Number one.
Telltale game. The Wolf Among Us. I love the hell out of this game. It's a prequel to the Fable comics, and you get to fucking play as Fable characters, mainly as the Wolfman, and it's fucking great, man. He's a sheriff. You're trying to solve a murder of a girl who had her head chopped off. You get to see the three little pigs. You get to see fucking Snow White. It's so much fucking fun in this. This was actually the very first Telltale game I ever played too, and I fucking fell in love with the series because of this game. It is so much fun. There's so much coming into this, looking at it. You look at the back, you go, okay, it doesn't seem like it's going to be bloody. It seems like it's going to be more on the kid side. You get to the game, you go, holy fuck. you got fucking smokers in the game. You got people being fucking destroyed, ripped apart. It's fucking fun. It's insanity. If you haven't played the Telltale games, start with this one. This is a fucking great game.
Have you played this, Brooklyn?
I haven't, but I've heard a lot of good things. I remember Jeremy Johns, whenever this game came out, he gave it like a really high review, and it looks really well too. I think it's like that traditional like Telltale cell shaded,
Yeah.
and and with a little more emphasis on like a darker sort of tone, and it works. This is honestly like for Shrek fans, I would say, because it talks about like Snow White, Three Blind Mice.
Yep.
So like if you like Jim, like this might be the best game for like Jim Green.
I could see that. Yeah.
Where's Batman?
Batman is not in this game.
It's supposed to be a DC list, Mike. Did you screw up again? Or is
No, this is a DC game because Fable is a DC comic. I looked that shit up to make sure.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. My number one, when I leave our Steam guest for last, my number one meh PC game is Superman 64. I don't hate it. I know people hate it, but it does get very, very boring flying through rings. First level, fly some rings. Second level, fly through some rings. Third level, more rings. You have to beat Lex Luthor, flying through rings. Has anybody actually played this other than me?
No.
No, because this is widely considered not only one of the worst superhero games, but one of the worst games ever.
I think the problem is that it's actually broken. Like, you can actually fly off screen if you force camera view, and you can break the game and you have to reset it and start the levels over, which is not something you really want to do.
I wouldn't believe so.
I rented this game from Blockbuster Video and I couldn't finish it. In this day and age, games didn't have like they were not supposed to have like memories. Like some of the games, I think this one had like a memory pack thing, but I didn't have one, so I rented it and I saved it on the cartridge with the thing it came with. And then when I rented it again the next weekend, somebody had deleted my shit,
Oh damn!
No.
so I had to start over. So in spite, I asked my mom to give me this for Christmas, knowing that I didn't like it, just because I wanted to be able to end it. And then I did. I figured I'd sell it. No one bought it. So, yeah. Don't do things out of spite, guys.
It's probably super valuable though now.
If I knew where it was,
True.
I mean, it's been like 25 years.
Yeah.
So, the last game for today's list, number 1, Mr. Brooklyn Vail.
Gotham City Imposters. Now, I know what you're thinking. A game based off of one scene from The Dark Knight, where they find an imposter Batman. But they make a game essentially off of that. It's like there's a bunch of imposter Batman and there's a bunch of imposter Jokers, and it's a first-person shooter. I think it's like 4-on-4. The maps are pretty small, but yeah, this was on Xbox 360 Arcade. It might have been like $15, but it has that like Team Fortress 2 sort of vibe to it. You can move around pretty easily. It's not like Call of Duty and Halo where it's like uberly competitive. You know, it did what it had to do. It's fun. It was fun for like a 15-year-old me. I'm not sure if I'd pay $15 for it now. I'd probably pay like $5 just for the lulz, because it was pretty fucking bonkers. But pretty solid shooter.
I think Funko Pop did a line of this. Like Funko Pop Gotham City Imposters. But it was like other characters dressed as Batman or stuff like that. I didn't even know it was a game. Have you played this, Mike?
I have never even heard of this game.
It's actually like, it's not bad.
Oh, I'm loving the cover. The cover's fucking weird.
Yeah.
So, we did it. And this is our longest episode ever, Mike.
Yeah.
We surpassed Mike guessing what my Legos were from episode 6. So, I want to thank Mr. Brooklyn Vail for coming with us. Hey, you know what? We got the big Canadian boss man. So, thank you for coming into Ranked, the show where we sometimes rank shit, like today. Sometimes we don't. Mike, you know what takes us out?
Yes.
Thanks for watching. Probably the 5 or 6 people who actually watch this. See you next time.